3.2. Solving equations having like terms and parentheses. So in this lesson, we're going to use the distributive property to solve equations. Remember, the distributive property is when you have, for example, a variable a, which can represent any number, multiplied by the sum of b plus c. You can distribute the a into the b and the c to get a times b, plus a times c. And the same goes for the difference of b and c. Okay, let's take a look at a few practice problems. Part A, it wants you to solve the equations using the distributive property. So first, I can take negative 3 and distribute it into 8 minus 4x. Negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. Negative 3 times negative 4x is positive 12x. And we copy the equal sign and the 12. Please pay attention to the signs. Negative, negative makes positive. Okay, now we can solve for x. And in this case, we're doing two-step equations. Bring down the 12x, add 12 and 24, divide 12 to both sides, x would equal to 3. And if you do a little check, 8 minus 4 times 3 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 3 gives you positive 12. So 3 is your answer. And here, we need to simplify this side of the equation. There's nothing to do on this side, so we simply recopy it. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times negative x is negative 7x. You must be wondering, why did I say negative 7x? Why not subtraction? Remember, you can rewrite this as 21 plus negative 7x. So why not just treat the subtraction sign as a negative sign? So now we take the opposite of positive 21, which is negative 21, and we subtract it to both sides of the equation. Cancel this part out. This is negative 42. Divide negative 7 to both sides. X would equal to positive 6. And we'll do a quick check. 3 minus 6 is negative 3 times positive 7 gives you negative 21. Now part B, we're going to combine like terms after distributing. You have 3n, you have positive 2n. We could use the commutative property and switch these around. Three n plus 2n gives you 5n. Now we can solve for n. Plus 40, plus 40. Bring down 5n, and we get 55. Divide 5 to both sides, n equals 11. Okay, and in the next one, we need to first simplify the right-hand side of this equation. And we need to begin with this part of the expression. So we need to distribute the negative 3 into the sum of y plus 4. So negative 3y, negative 3 times positive 4 is negative 12. So let me first recopy 13, the equal sign, and the 2y. I'm going to write negative 3y, negative 12. Okay, now I can combine like terms. Two minus 3 gives you negative 1. So you can just simply write negative y minus 12. I actually skipped a step. The reason why I can take 2 and subtract 3 is because of the distributive property. Watch this. 2 minus 3, and take out the y. This is a distributive property. Reversed. We're going from this direction. So 13 equals negative y minus 12. Again, then we can add plus 12 to both sides. Cancel that. Negative y would equal to 25. And then y would equal to negative 25. And let's do this one. I need to first distribute 0.5 into the difference of m minus 4. And then 0.5 times negative 4 gives me negative 2. And that equals to 9. 2m plus 0.5m, could take 2 and add it to 0.5 to make 2.5 m. And now I can add 2 to both sides. And I divide 2.5 . It's 11 over 2.5. Can shift the decimal one place to the right, so it's going to be 110 over 25, and I can simplify that. And that will become 22 over 5, and we can rewrite that as a mixed number, 4 2/5. Part C. Find the value of the given rectangle and square. This means we need to find out what x is. So since this is a rectangle, I can double the length and then double the width. And the perimeter is given. The distance around the shape is 40. As you can see, I need to distribute the 2 into the sum of x plus 2. So the next step will be 2x plus 4 plus 14 equals 40. And then 2x plus 18 equals 40. 2x would equal to 22. X would equal to 11. And here we have a square. So 4 times x plus 11, because we have 4 sides, that's why I multiply by 4. The perimeter is 104. I could set it equal to that. We can distribute the 4 into the sum of x plus 11. 4x plus 44 equals 104. Subtract 44 to both sides. X equals to 15. Karaoke. You want to organize a group of friends to go to a karaoke studio this Friday night. You must pay $30 to reserve a private karaoke room, plus $5 for each person. So $30 for the room and $5 per person. You also want to have snacks for the group at a cost of $2 per person. So $2 per person for snacks. How many people can be in the group if you have $70 to spend? So the total is $70. So we can let T be equal to the number of people. In this case, I don't have a picture to draw. Okay, so if you're given the total, $70, you could put that on one side of the equation. $30 per room is a fixed cost, so I can do $30 plus. And for every person, you need to pay $5, 5T. And every person will also be charged $2 for snacks. So now that I have an equation, I can solve for T. So first, I need to combine like terms. 30 plus 7T, and that equals 70. I'm recopying the equation because I ran out of space. Now I can solve for T by first subtracting the opposite of positive 30. Bring down 7T, and we can let that equal to 40. And T would equal to 5 and 5 over 7. Because a person cannot be a fraction, then we need to round down. So there can only be 5 people. Let's take a look at the next problem. Photograph. The perimeter of a rectangular photograph is 22 inches. So this photograph is a rectangle. Oh, I can draw it here. And the perimeter is 22 inches. The length of the photograph is 1 inch more than the width. So this is a very important piece of information. 1 inch more than the width. Therefore, the width should be W. So here I can let W be the width. What are the dimensions of the photograph? So dimensions just means it wants you to find the length and the width. Here I told you the length is equal to W plus 1. So to solve, we need to set up an equation. We're given the perimeter, so we can double the width and double the length and set it equal to 22. So now we need to first distribute this part of the equation. 2w plus 2w gives you 4w. Combine like terms. And then we need to subtract 2 to both sides. 4w equals 20, w equals 5. Therefore, w plus 1 gives you 6. And the answer will be width equals 5 inches, length equals 6 inches. Okay, and that concludes our lesson.